Today, we have an extremely hot topic titled, Is there a difference in digital and is it worth paying extra for well-known brands? We will compare two top-notch DACs. One is a renowned Canadian that has long proven itself to everyone. And the second is a young, daring Chinese model, equipped with the coolest AKM 4499 chips with a separate power supply unit and the ability to adjust the sound signature. Don't be surprised if I tell you that I don't like vinyl, specifically as a medium for information. I constantly say that if you want to achieve the highest sound quality, you should pay attention to more modern audio formats, like high-res. The same flag gives me more pleasure when listening to music, pure, even invigorating sound like a mountain stream. About 7 years ago, I was collecting discs when the DSOX service was still available. I tried to choose by branded editions with unique covers like this Rammstein disc with the album Reise, Reise. But it has an atypical cover and I thought it was cool. Agree, it's well done. At some point, I filled my rack with my favorite artists almost to the brim and thought, isn't there a better, simpler format for enjoying music? Back then, my Opus 105D, later the 205, was connected via a separate HDMI channel to the Bryston BDA-3 DAC, and this setup outperformed all the external streamers I connected separately to the preamplifier or to this same DAC. But everything changed with the arrival of Orendor N200 in my house. This South Korean beautiful heavy silver device with a large colorful display was able to completely outperform any CDs, even the most branded exclusive ones. For example, nice in like this sample Alder disc, which was not released for sale in stores. And surprisingly, its quality differs friends from the regular Alder. Naturally for the better. Why is that? Please write in the comments. Many do not hear the difference in digital, but all my friends and family whom I invited for a listening session clearly felt the distinction. And everyone unanimously claimed that the title on the streamer on the Orender sounds more assertive, clearer, and more confident than the same track on a physical medium. You might say this is nonsense. Digital is digital, even in Africa. There will be no differences. Physics, 9th grade, and so on. But why do others hear it? Alright, I won't argue with you, friends. Maybe you don't hear the difference. Look for the problem on your end. In short, I kept the Orender until the Bryston BDP-3 arrived, which managed to outperform the 200th Southerner, but only through HDMI. The USB input sounded significantly worse. There was almost more parity via AS EBU, but through HDMI, it showed a greater improvement, especially in rock compositions. The sound was definitely more assertive and truly rock-like. And so it seemed I had completed my system, but then it appeared, the 2-unit Yulong, which by specifications and appearance was supposed to break my heart and defeat the old Canadian wolf, Bryston BDA-3.14, taking my streaming to a new level. Did it succeed? What do you think? No, and no. I listened to them head to head for over a month and I'll honestly tell you about their differences. Ready? Just take a look at them. How brutal, heavy and well crafted the Yulong is, and how simple, calm, I would even say outdated the Bryston is because of that wide font. I won't delve into their technical differences. You can easily look them up online and save your time. I'll just say that the key features are of course the DAC 4490 in the Bryston and the 4499 EQ in the Yulong. Moreover, for an additional cost, you get a separate power supply unit designed to give even more boost to the music. Also, according to the Chinese claims, the Yulong has a super headphone amplifier. Well, since I try not to listen to music through them, I can't comment on its quality. I haven't even tried it, and I have no desire to. For me, headphones are either stacks or nothing. And experiencing music with the whole body, and most importantly, This Chinese one is also cheaper by about twice as much, if not more. But not everything is so simple in our world. Listening showed completely different results. The Chinese have learned to make things with quality and well. Why hide the truth? I look at it, hold it in my hands and realize that everything about it is excellent, my friends. The screen is large. Yes, it's not color, but nevertheless it is there. Everything is milled it up with quality and the handle moves superbly again. And look at the legs. Do you see what kind of innovation? As many as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 silicone pads in one leg. Isn't it cool? This shows that the Chinese, the Asians, pay attention to details and want to take their product to a new level to show that they are cooler, faster, higher, stronger. What do I find lacking in this DAC? It's of course HDMI, because you understand that with it, it will be a completely different device. But besides that, it has everything in general. USB, WAS-CBU, optical, coaxial, G, balanced, and RCA. That's all, friends. Moreover, once again, attention to details. Look, do you see this? It's a cute cover. And I tip my hat to the Asians because it's really cool. Furthermore, the connectors are Nutric, friends, the same ones used in Nordost cables, which cost about as much as this entire device. That's how it is. A separate power supply unit is extremely heavy with equally high quality feed, and naturally with this kind of output for power link, friends. See, we connect. It is to 220, and from here the power goes to our Yulong and doesn't require an additional socket connection. And this old audiophile Canadian school, which in theory even gets a bit crumpled next to these new models that have separate power supplies, screens, and so on. And the chip here is older, as we know. But friends, firstly, the undeniable advantage is, of course, HDMI. That's the first point. Well, the fact that there's a trimmer here is, let's say, a footnote, because an identical device in the same case, but without the trimmer, is cheaper and is called the BDA-3. Everything in it is absolutely the same, but it lacks the ability to play title or music from external media. By the way, the trimmer itself is quite good, Sectim. But if we compare it with a separate Orenda or Bryston BDP3, then this streamer completely loses. But I'm not talking about that now, friends. I'm talking about the sound, because I spent so much time comparing them. I genuinely wanted to keep the Yulong for myself because, well, in all technical characteristics, it's better. But friends, yes, the Yulong is cool, but very cool. I can't say anything against it. But still, the Bryston is better. Friends, and the focus group showed that, yes, there isn't that kind of crystal clarity that I generally always advocate for. But the Bryston has a completely different scene, a completely different presentation. I don't know, maybe. It sounds silly, but it's somehow more noble, it's more refined than in the Yulong. The Yulong is, you know, like a really, cool Chinese car. You look at it and you understand, well, everything seems very good. Materials, specifications, the tax is low, it's cheaper. But no, there's no magic there, just none. When you play here, say, with the song, It Is a Crime, or George Michael with the song, Fast Love, older. When you play rock, specifically rock, for some reason, Bryston outperforms everyone on rock tracks. I don't know why. It just, well, it's assertive. It's the armor piercing. And more expensive. Explain to me, friends, what's the matter? Why do older chips of the previous generation generally outperform the newer ones. How is that possible? Could it be the issue with the power supply? But it's not here. There's no separate power supply unit. It's there. Could it be something with the settings? Could it be something with the presets? Or maybe some other boards or cables? Well, I don't know why, but most people showed that Bryston won, and you can come yourself to my salon. And listen, I am always happy and open to communication. Your opinion is very interesting. Come to me, listen. I have a separate room for testing. It is equipped with acoustic panels. Everything is done according to Feng Shui. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for watching the video to the end. I hope for feedback. It seemed that the numbers are the same everywhere, but in the connection of these devices there are serious features. Yulong plays amazingly via USB, even better via AES EBU, and this is the peak of its quality. I couldn't extract a better sound. Bryston completely loses via USB. AES EBU shows a higher quality sound, and the highest quality sound that I managed to extract from the Canadian device is, of course, via HDMI connection. And here it has